What do you do when you're accused of something that you didn't do? Let's get into it. I am a big believer that if you live your life the right way, you do the good things that you're supposed to do, that you build up karma. You build up a credit with Miss Karma. And I think that sometimes you get an opportunity to cash that in. I was recently approached by someone who is in a kind of tricky situation. Their commitment and their focus and their integrity and their character has been called into question. And ideally, it's a circumstance that I think on the surface, based on what I understand, everybody should see what's going on, should see and understand that this is not right. Yet, things have continued to evolve to a point that they're under fire and they're really, really challenged. And when they came to me and they asked me for some advice, they're like, what would you do? And I'm sure you've never experienced this. I have. In fact, in ways that I can't even begin to even put into words. So I can completely relate to the feeling that they are experiencing of loss of control, the fear of damage to their reputation, all of the things that just have this really, really caustic way of just eating you up from the inside out. And what I said was, if you know that you're right and you have done nothing to bring the ire of this particular situation to bear, this could be a temporary storm. This could be an opportunity for you to just get quiet, not feel like you have to lash back out or you have to fight, and that you hope that cooler heads will prevail and that the person or persons that are making the challenge for you, creating the difficulties, are in those quiet moments, sitting in their beds, laying their heads on their pillows and thinking really about what they're doing. And honestly, when they get up in the morning and they go and brush their teeth, can they look themselves in the eye and say, am I doing this because it's a game, because it's fun, because I just want to screw this person's life up? Or, do they feel wronged for a legitimate reason and they don't know how else to deal with it or how to handle it? The reason I share that is because I think if you have gone about doing things the right way and there's any sense of semblance of goodness in these hearts, they'll probably reconsider. You hope they reconsider. But if they don't, and the poundings continue to come, the storm continues to be a brewing, my advice was to get quiet and recognize that you can't argue with people who are ready for a fight, people who are trying to take you down, people that are trying to cause conflict when there needn't be one. And all you do is continue to further inflame and instigate the situation, and that's not good. So in the course of their circumstances, right, this is becoming a situation where they're kind of one against many. You run into these things, whether you're on a board, whether you're the sort of outcast individual within a group or a team or a department. And our natural tendencies are to pony up to the bar and get ready for the fight and to justify anything and everything or defend yourself. And that's really hard not to do. That, I think, is hardwired in us, right? But at the end of the day, if you haven't done anything, if you really have no ill intent against any of the offending parties, then be quiet. Just be still. Because what I find is that either people that didn't really intend to take it as far as they did will often come back, kind of like standing up to the bully in the playground when they no longer can intimidate you. They all of a sudden lose some of that fight in themselves or the desire to pick on you because it's no longer giving them what they were choosing to go for. They're not getting the drama. They're not getting the attention. They're not whatever. But quiet also gives you an opportunity to step back and let other forces take control. If you're a religious person, obviously believing God can sort of sort your way through these particular circumstances. Hey, that's great. The universe, I know a lot of people are like, the universe is always watching and it's paying attention. I'm a big believer in karma, right? And the more that we go and try to hurt and damage other people, karma will be paying attention. Karma keeps receipts, to use a Deion Sanders phrase. And you don't have to point it out to karma. Karma already knows. Karma recognizes and pays attention. And not that I think karma is necessarily a vindictive soul, but I do think that has a tendency to pay attention, take note, and be like, okay, all right, this is the way we're going. What other parts of this person's life might not go so well because they took so much time to disappoint or frustrate or anger or undercut or try to get somebody fired over here. I'm not forgetting that. It's going in the column, and someday there will be a reckoning. You hope you never get there. You hope that cooler heads prevail. And if this was a circumstance in this particular one where I said you could actually take these people aside and say, look, we're both trying to get to the end game here. We're trying to figure this, we both want to end, up in the same place. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Maybe we said some things we shouldn't have said. Maybe we did some things that really offended or upset one another. But in the interest of trying to work together or to cohabitate or collaborate or just get along, man. Rodney King had it right. Can't we just get along?
Can we all get along?
Sometimes just having the opportunity to reset there is a good place to go. So these dynamics happen in almost every aspect of our lives. We could have a dispute with our neighbor. We could have, some issue with some kid's soccer coach. You could have personality conflicts with people that you didn't used to have personality conflicts. Most prevalent is in the working world. And sadly, when people start drawing, battle lines and decide to go to war, it becomes really hard. And I know from the perspective of this person who feels just completely gutted, it's not a comfortable feeling. I know, I've been there, and I empathize and feel for you. And I also know, the natural tendency is to get ready for battle, but that may not be the best course of action. And in most cases, it's never the best course of action. Get quiet, let the circumstances unfold, justify what you can without defending anything. And if you show up and you're a good, authentic person, then the world's going to see that. And if the person that is bringing the drama, the challenges, in this case, several people, maybe they wake up one day and be like, this just isn't right. Shouldn't be doing it. And at least stop. If not, admit defeat or admit fault or whatever. But I like to hold out hope that there's goodness in everybody's heart. And eventually it bubbles up and like, hey, remember me? There's a good part of you. You don't need to be doing this. Come on. Don't, please. Hope your circumstances work out. I hope they unfold in a more positive direction. And like with good karma, everybody pays attention and knows. And so you just keep doing you, and life has a way of working out. That's all I can say. But what a powerful, powerful way to look at this circumstance and look at it from a different lens and a different perspective. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to share it and to offer this up to my audience, because we all will face these challenges, these tests in our lives and our careers. And sometimes we don't have a clue how to deal with it. I know for a fact I have not always known how to deal with it, and have not always dealt with it in the most appropriate way. But age and wisdom, I think, is starting to prevail. And if I can shed a little light on it for you to not make the same mistakes that maybe I have throughout my career, then I've done something good, a solid ripple, a positive, something good. Karma pays attention to that as well. Ripple on.